I like this comment. I received a comment from Anthony Perez on a video I made called Hair Loss, Interview with My Dad, age 60. And Anthony Perez, who, I want to say this, Anthony Perez is a very good looking guy. I'm looking at his thumbnail. Kind of a mix between Tony Danza and James Franco. So there you go. Anthony Perez says this, quote, "Great guy to talk to in this sensationalized world filled with propaganda. To talk to the youth like this, good stuff, man," end quote. So it's a short comment, but it's so full of truth. You know, for me to interview my dad, who is now in his 60s, and you know, it's easy if you're starting to experience some hair loss in your early 20s or late teens and think, well, what good is Nick Shell? What good can he add? He's 36. What good is his dad? His dad's in his 60s. Why do I need to listen to them talk about hair loss? You know, because Nick's still got most of his hair and his dad's in his 60s, so how is that relevant to me? You know, but that's the thing. I like the terminology here where Anthony says with my dad, here's one thing I want to deconstruct. Sensationalized world, and I just recently did a video talking about that, how it is hard to just accept yourself for who you are, hair loss or not, because not only do we have Hollywood, we've got social media, and we've got now arguably cures for hair loss. So if you don't do something about your hair loss, then if that's something that concerns you, it's easier to freak out about and make a big deal about. But then, yeah, you talk to me, or more importantly, you talk to my dad, and my dad is able to see through all of that. He's lived through all that, and now he's able to see, yeah, it is propaganda. I think that's very important for all of us as men to look through the propaganda. Now, some of you always want me to talk about stuff beyond hair loss, and this is one of my favorite things to kind of steer into. But seriously, politics, American politics is a joke. I've said this before, but look, vote for this clown or this clown. Be on this side or this side. Demonize this side or this side. That's ridiculous, you know? And it takes an intelligent mind to see beyond all that garbage. That's all it is. It's a joke. Each party collects a clown, elects a clown. Okay, let me have this clown run against this one. That's all propaganda. You can't trust politicians, okay? And in the same likeness, you can't trust social media. You cannot trust Hollywood. Who can you trust? You guessed it, Nick Shell and his dad, who I will be visiting for Christmas, and I'm sure he'll make an appearance or two. You can trust us. Why? Because we're not trying to sell you anything. We're not trying to say that you need to look like somebody else that you see on your Facebook feed or in the latest movie. We're saying the opposite of that. What we're doing is, it's a rebellious act, isn't it? It's rebellious. It's masculine to say you don't need to look like those people. Instead, what do I always say? I say, do the best with what you got. If you need to take it to extremes, then do that. If you want to be like me and slowly watch yourself go bald and just get the best haircut you can for it until you lose it, do it. That is rebellion. That is counter-cultural to say such a thing. Wouldn't you want to be a part of that movement? Wouldn't you want to be a part of that way of thinking instead of plugging into society? Hey, I plugged out of society. I don't scroll Facebook. I don't cater to either the Republican or the Democratic side. All I worry about is being the best version of myself that I can be. And that means helping other people, which is why I love doing these hair loss videos. I love getting that feedback from people telling me, hey, you're helping me through this. You're helping me battle that hair loss bully in the mirror. And ultimately, we have to keep in mind, not only is it in your head, but it's also in the culture surrounding us more so than ever before. So whereas I grew up in high school not having Facebook, not having YouTube, you probably did. And of course, my dad definitely didn't. So thank you for being open-minded to understand that even if my dad and I can't relate to you that you may be losing your hair in your early 20s, because neither my dad nor I did. I mean, he and I both didn't really start experiencing it until our 30s, and we can't relate to you there. We definitely have some truth to drop on you as far as you have the ability to unplug from this system, right? Just like my son, he's 7. And what do I say to him? I say, son, you have the power to ignore that. Whatever that other kid said to you, whatever your little sister just did, you have the power to ignore that. I just now invented the title of this video. I didn't know that's what this video was going to be entitled until just now. You have the power to ignore it when it comes to hair loss. You have the power to unplug from the system. I have unplugged. And I think one of the first places to start is to stop scrolling your phone for Facebook. Forget about it. Be a hypocrite like me. Post something every once in a while just to let people know you're alive, and let them sort it out. Let them be the consumer. You be the creator. You create what goes on in your own mind. You create your version of reality. Unplug, get woke. You're in control. Where do you want to go?